As the saying goes, you are what you eat, and the same holds true for what you drink, apparently.
And that's why new guidelines have been crafted by several influential health groups aimed at helping parents choose the best drink options for their kids. Dr. Frank McGeorge is here to tell us what these guidelines say and kind of give us some thinking behind them here.
So, Ty and Kimberly, here's the thing. I can make it super simple. The new guidelines only recommend water and skim or 1% milk for kids age 5 to 18, which I'm just going to say is pretty impractical for the average American family. Now, the recommendations do make allowance for a limited amount of 100% fruit juice and potentially unsweetened fortified soy milk if a child is unable to drink cow's milk. Now, the root of these recommendations actually comes from a few core principles. First, any added sugar should be eliminated. So, of course, that strikes sugar-sweetened beverages. Next, caffeine and other stimulants should be eliminated, which strikes coffee, tea, and any energy drinks, for example. And finally, even non-sugar-sweetened beverages should be eliminated. That takes things like diet sodas or other artificially sweetened drinks off the list. And I want to point out the reason for eliminating non-sugar-sweetened beverages comes from research in adults that basically suggests that they could increase the risk of type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease.
So, yeah, pretty limiting. Water and milk, I mean, that's, as you said, not very practical for the average family. Yeah. What about whole milk? What about flavored milks?
Well, so that's an interesting one because the concern about whole milk is that the amount of saturated fat is in it. Now, there is some information actually suggesting that saturated fat may not be that huge a problem, but for now, they are basically suggesting to limit it with basically 1% or skim milk. Now, the issue with chocolate or strawberry milk is the amount of added sugar. And I should point out, if a child doesn't like milk, and chocolate milk is now out of the question in theory, other dairy sources like yogurt or cheeses can be used.
Okay, so practically speaking, if parents did want to make choices outside of those guidelines, what are the best choices would you suggest they could make?
Well, you know, and I do want to be practical about it, and this is just my opinion, but I would actually start with loosening those fruit juice limits. 100% real fruit juice is, in fact, the best choice. But the limits they suggest are only 4 to 6 ounces a day for a child between 5 and 6, which basically limits the child to only 1 juice box a day, which is just, to me, kind of outrageous and unrealistic. It is completely legit, though, to cut that fruit juice with water to make it go further. And going back to one of the other core principles, I think I want to emphasize this. Extra added sugar is really the main thing that we need to avoid. And so anything you can do to limit that, that will go a long way.
Beneficial. Yeah. Okay, Doc, we appreciate it.